Now, this is something that could not only affect his basketball career, this could affect his life because this is capital murder. All right, what's going on, everyone? This is David from Refuse to Lose Sports. I got an important topic to talk about today. But before I get to the topic, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We've now reached 500 subscribers. We're halfway to 1,000. So thank you for everyone that's been able to support us in this realm. Shout out to everyone in the Refuse to Lose sports chats, all the chats that we have, all our guests that have been coming on the show. So we appreciate you guys. But I have a serious thing that I want to talk about today. Or should I say tonight? So there was a situation that happened between a basketball player, basketball players for the Alabama men's basketball team. This is something that happened a while ago, but I feel like since we haven't touched on it, I would be the one to touch on it, since college basketball is something I really pay attention to and something that I follow a lot. And legal matters is something that I like to touch on a lot. As you may have noticed with the situation with Jerry Jones, that video we had with that. And we're actually going to have one tomorrow when we talk about Ja Morant. So one thing I kind of want to talk about is, first, let me talk about who the player is. So the player that I'll be going over today is Brandon Miller. He's the freshman for the Alabama men's basketball team, one of the highly coveted players. There's nothing I can really say about his game, but I'm not here to talk about his game. I'm not here to talk about what he does on the court. I'm more so want to talk about something that happened outside of the basketball court, outside of the arena. So there's a situation that happened with a young lady who was killed in her car by and it involved two players, two former NBA, but two former Alabama players. And the names of those players are Miles Davis and those names are Darius Miles and Mike Davis. I apologize for that mistake. But those two players were charged with capital murder because in the state of Alabama, when someone is killed inside a vehicle, that's considered capital murder. So they were charged with capital murder. Now, although Darius Miles was not the one that was said to pull the trigger, he was involved. So Mike Davis is the actual one. Michael Buzz Davis is what they call him, but he's the one that was, the one that was actually pulled the trigger. Now, there are two other players that were involved in that matter, and that is Brandon Miller, the freshman I considered before, and there's another player, another freshman standout, Jaden Bradley. These two players were said to have been involved in this because it has been alleged that Miller was the one who actually bought the gun to Darius Miles that was then given to Davis, while the victim, Jamea Harris, so condolences to you, to your family. I apologize for what has happened to you. Losing a life is not something that we necessarily want to see. We know it happens all the time, but and something in this matter, it's not right. It's not something that should go down. So all parties involved, it was a poor decision for that to happen. It was also said that the reason why the gun was bought there was because the gun belonged to Darius Miles and it was left in the back of Brandon Miller's car. So there's a legend. So all this is alleged. I'm not there in the case. I don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't there, so this is all alleged. So Brandon Miller was the one that actually it was a text sent to Brandon Miller to bring the gun back, and that's exactly what he did. That's what was said, that's what's alleged, is that he actually bought the gun there, and him and Jaden Bradley were actually the reason why these two names are being brought up is because they were not only did Brandon Miller bring the gun there, he actually blocked off the victim, Jamea Harris, they blocked off her car from being able to leave. Now, the situation was, what caused the situation was that Davis was given advances to, what has been said is that Davis was given advances to Jamea Harris, who was actually there with her boyfriend and her cousin, who was a student of the University of Alabama. And Harris was rejecting it, and that's what caused a violent dispute in the car, which ended up in her untimely death. Now, there's an Alabama state law that the prosecutor is pretty much saying that Brandon Miller could not be charged under that state law. However, the legal term that defines such capability is known as the law of parties. Most states have adopted laws similar to the model penal code, a set of criminal laws promulgated by legal scholars in the 1960s in an attempt to make state criminal laws more uniform and fair. Now, different states like Alabama have adopted parts of this code over the years and whatever changes they see fit, pretty much. Now, with this, there are two things that promote or assist the commission in this offense. One is he or she procures, induces, or causes such a person to commit the offense, or he aids or abets such a person in committing the offense. So it doesn't necessarily have to be accessory to murder. So accessory to murder is having the knowledge to know that this was actually going to take place. Pretty much. That's pretty much the synopsis of that. Now, Brandon Miller might not have known that this was going to take place, but he was involved. He did actually bring the gun to them in order for this situation to happen. Now, it wasn't his gun from what's being alleged. It's been alleged that this gun belonged to Darius Miles. However, like I said, this is actually what's been going on. So this is a situation that's happened. Now, this is something that could not only affect his basketball career, this could affect his life, because this is capital murder. He could serve some serious prison time, and this could be a felony. This is not only homicide, like I said, I just said it's capital murder. So this is a very serious situation. So I just wanted to make sure that we got this covered. Now, if all this stuff is true, like I said, this is a poor decision. And whoever is involved who caused this young lady's untimely death because of advances that she rejected, you're just wrong. I'm sorry. It's not something that you should do. No one's life should be taken away because they don't like someone or they don't want to do something with someone. You know, that's not fair to them, and it's not fair to yourself either. Because now you're forcing someone to do something that they don't want to do. Why would you want to force someone to be with you when that's not what they want? That's not how connections work. That's another conversation for another day, but I kind of want to put that out there because I think that's very important. So that's the topic I wanted to go over today. We will have more as more news comes out of this. Hoping that this gets resolved pretty quickly. Hoping for this young man's sake that whatever this is not true. If it is true, then we want to make sure that these things get taken care of, because no one who's involved in a situation like this should be able to be free, in my opinion. Because that's just, it's not right to have someone's life ended because of, they didn't want someone. This person was already involved with someone else. And this young lady who had a future, and now she's gone. This family has a loss. It's an emotional loss, and a physical loss. It's who knows what this young lady was going to be able to do. And now two of these former basketball players are no longer on the basketball team, no longer on the site. And who knows, it may be two more. This is all, like I said, this is all alleged, so we don't know if this is actually true. But like I said, I want to touch on this today. This is the information we have now. As we have more, we'll do whatever we can to make sure we give you more information on this, and we'll talk about this more. Again, tune into the show. We will be giving you more stuff like this, more episodes like this. We have a lot of content. We're very close to being monetized, but being monetized is not as important as the situation right now. So thank you guys for listening, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.